One of the stories for this week comes from the book of Acts, and it's a story about the Paul headed to a city with one of his friends, and in this city they are proclaiming good news. They're talking about Jesus. And also in the city it says there's a young slave girl. And the slave girl, it says, is being afflicted by some sort of malady. She has a spirit of divination that has possessed her, and her owners are using her as a business to tell the fortunes of people in the city or passerbyers, and this is the way they make money. Well, this young girl, it says, is following Paul and his friend throughout the city, proclaiming these men are servants of the Most High God. And it says after a while of doing this, Paul turns and heals her, casts out this spirit that she has. Now it's at this point that the masters of this girl get enraged. They've just completely lost their whole business as Paul has healed this poor girl. And so they take Paul and his friends to the local officials on trumped up charges to have him arrested and beaten because they've ruined their business. The story really reminds me of the way that if the gospel is good news for all, it has a way of disrupting things, of upsetting the apple cart, you might say. And it seems it's particularly so, or particularly felt, when it comes to finances or the economy. It reminds me of how I've never heard anyone push back on the idea of doing a sock drive for the homeless or serving in a soup kitchen. But if you start talking about raising the minimum wage or changing the tax structure so it's more equitable, or more low-income housing, if you start doing things that really mess with our economic structure, the economy, that's when feathers start to get ruffled. It's no surprise to me that Jesus talked about money almost more than any other topic in the Gospels. And I think given this story, it's no surprise that might be one of the reasons why they sought to kill him. I guess overall, what this story reminds me of is that if the gospel is going to be good news, it has to be good news for all. And if it's good news for all, it's going to upset and disrupt our way of life. But I think overall that's a good thing.